Okay students, the next topic is genetic material. So all of you might be knowing what is genetic material. DNA and RNA are genetic material, and let us see what are its different characteristics of the genetic material. So what are the properties of genetic material? It should be able to generate a replica. That means it should be capable of replication, and that is faithful replication. Means whatever bases are there in the genetic code, the replicated DNA should also have replicated DNA or RNA should also have the same genetic code, genetic sequence. Now it should be chemically and structurally stable to the extent that there are some slow changes which should be allowable. They actually happen in DNA and RNA, and they are called mutations, which allows for the evolution to happen. So otherwise, if it is unstable, then there is no if the mutations are very high or it is not stable, then it will not able the cell will not able to produce its progeny after division. So if there is no faithful replication of the cells, then every cell in the next generation will be different from the previous cell, and then there is no use, though there is no meaning of genetic material. So this is very important property, that it should be chemically stable, means sequence should be preserved, it should not change very frequently, and structurally also it should not degrade very easily from any stress, which may be physical or chemical or biochemical. Now this I already told, the mutation should be allowed for evolution, and then the next thing was that earlier when it was not discovered, so the most important thing was the Mendel had told that there is something which carries the genetic information, and there are some characters which are transferred from one generation to second generation through genes, and there are two alternate forms of genes. So like he told, for the height of the plants it is tall and small, so alternative forms of genes should be available. So so whatever the genetic material is, it should be able to express in the form of Mendelian characters. So this was before genetic material came to be known, after the Mendelian experiments. So how genetic material were established? It was first the first information was given by Griffith in 1928, then Avery, MacLeod and McCarthy, then Hershey and Chase experiment in 1952. Avery, MacLeod, McCarthy experiment was in 33. So Frederick experiment was very important in Streptococcus pneumoniae. This is the bacteria which causes the pneumonia in the rats, and so the experiment was that he has taken two strains of this bacteria, One is virulent strain, one is non-virulent strain. Virulent strain gives colonies when it is grown on the media plates, petri plates. It gives colony which are smooth in outer surface. So this strain was called smooth strain, and it is virulent. It is pathogenic. The other strain, which was non-virulent, has rough edge of the colonies, so it was called rough strain, and it is non-virulent strain. So what Griffith did was inject the mice with live bacteria of smooth strain. It caused the pneumonia in the mice, and mice was dead. Then he infected the rough strain, mice with rough strain, because this is non-virulent strain. Mice lived. Then he heat killed the S strain and then infected, so mice survived. So from this he inferred that after heat killing, the infective property of S strain is lost. But when he added this heat killed S with the rough strain, and the mixture was inoculated to the mice, then this mixture was able to cause pneumonia, and the mice died. So this experiment concluded that there is something which went from the heat killed S bacteria, and it went from heat killed S bacteria to rough strain, from smooth strain heat killed bacteria to rough strain, and made it virulent, and that genetic material survived the heat. So it inferred 3 points. Number 1, the genetic material was heat stable, or like after heating and cooling it regained its property. And secondly, it was able to transfer to the rough material, rough bacteria. And thirdly, it changed, after going to the rough bacteria, it changed the rough bacteria into virulent bacteria. And that was later seen also, that some of the bacteria from this mixture, when they were grown on petri plates, they formed the rough colonies, and also from the infected pneumonia, the live smooth bacteria were found. So it means the smooth surface bacteria was formed from this mixture. So these are tabulated, these points. Griffith observed that live S bacteria could kill mice injected with them. When the heat killed S variants and mixed them, when he heat killed the S variant and mixed them with live R variant, and then injected the mixture in the mice, they died. Griffith was able to isolate the bacteria from the dead mice and found them to be of S strain. Thus the bacteria had transformed from the rough to smooth strain. Scientists set out to isolate the transforming principle since they were convinced it was the carrier of genetic information. So this the conclusion from this experiment was that something transformed the heat killed something went from heat killed S strain to rough strain, and that was the genetic material, which changed the rough strain into smooth strain. So genetic material was called transforming principle by Griffith in 1928. Now, so this is again a representation of this, how this experiment happened. So if you go in detail, this was smooth 3 types. There are further types in the smooth and rough strain. So smooth was type 3, so 3S, it is written 3S, and rough was type 2. So you see this is colony colony in the Petri plates of S type bacteria. This is R type bacteria. So individually they are able to infect and they are not. So if you take the some tissue sample from the for example blood from the dead mice and grow them on Petri plate, you will find similar S type of colonies. From here there are no colonies because this antibody system of mice killed the rough bacteria. Here when it is heat killed, again there are no infection and no colonies. Here when the mixture is there, then from some mixture there are this rough type colonies, and from the infected mice also which died, there were smooth type colonies. So this is how this experiment was conducted. Now it was concluded that transforming principle was there which acted as genetic material. But what was it? Was it a protein? Was it polysaccharide, carbohydrate, or DNA or RNA? So to conclude that Avery, MacLeod and McCarty, these people did experiment, and from their experiment it was concluded that it was the genetic material is DNA. How they did? They separated the from heat killed S strain, they separated the components into proteins, DNA, RNA, etc. And then individually they mixed these things with the live R strain and then infected the mice. So only from DNA and R strain mixture that was able to infect the mice and change the rough colony, not infect, kill the mice and change the rough colony into smooth colony that made the bacteria virulent. So, and they also discovered that protein digesting enzymes such as proteases and RNA digesting enzyme, that is RNases, did not affect transformation. Means when from the mixture, when in the mixture if you add from the heat killed smooth strain, if you treat that with protease and then mix with R strain and then do the same experiment, then it will function. It will because DNA is intact. If they treat with RNAs, then also it will experiment will function. Mice will be killed. Then also because DNA is intact. If they used DNAs, then this experiment will not work, and because DNA is digested and this transforming principle is digested, lost. So this almost convinced scientific fraternity about the genetic material, but some still did not want to believe, because earlier it was thought that protein is the genetic material. So further experiments were required to conclusively prove that the DNA is the genetic material, DNA or RNA, that is nucleic acid. So what their Hershey and Chase experiment conclusively proved that. What they did, they worked with bacteria and bacteriophages. Bacteriophages are viruses which infect the bacteria. And bacteriophage only insert their nucleic acid inside the bacteria, and their protein coat remains outside the bacteria. So this is bacteriophage. They have genetic material this here inside this side, which is DNA in this kind of phase, T4 phase. T2, T4, T6 phases have DNA as genetic material. Some phases have RNA as genetic material. So the proteins molecules surrounding the DNA are called capsids, capsomeres. They are made of capsomere, small units, capsomeres. Then they have a neck, then they have a tail, and then they have legs. So tail fibers or legs and a basal plate. So this is the structure. So the genetic material, when it attaches to the bacteria, genetic material will come out through this tube, get inserted into the bacteria, and then this thing will be empty. Virus will be removed. So it was done in 1952. What Hershey and Chase do? They grow some viruses in the medium that contain radioactive phosphorus, and one time with radioactive phosphorus, in another experiment with radioactive sulfur. So if it is the viruses are growing in radioactive sulfur, then sulfur is present in protein, so the capsids will be labeled with radioactive material. And when they are growing in phosphorus, then DNA or genetic material will be labeled with radioactivity. Now when this, so when the bacteria infected the virus, when the virus was attached to the bacteria and virus inserted its material into the genetic material into the bacteria, then it was sonicated to remove the empty protein, that is also called ghost. So after removing the ghost, the bacteria is centrifuged, and after centrifugation the bacteria are heavy, so they will pellet down, and the ghosts are of low density, they will remain on the upper surface. So this mixture was, after infection of bacteria with the virus, this mixture was sonicated, and that was put on in a tube that contains cesium chloride as density or density gradient centrifugation. In density gradient centrifugation, a gradient of density, higher density on the lower side and lower density on the upper side. So a gradient is formed in the tube. So the lighter particle will separate on the upper side, and heavier on the lower side. So after sonication, this mixture was put on the above the cesium chloride that was kept in a tube and centrifuged. After centrifugation, bacteria pelleted down in the bottom and the ghost remained on the top. So when the viruses were grown in the presence of sulfur, then the radioactivity they observed was from the upper part, that is from the ghost. And for so ghost were not genetic material. When this the viruses were grown in the presence of ATP, in the presence of phosphorus, the phosphorus entered into ATP and entered into DNA, and so after the viruses transferred their DNA to bacteria, bacteria settled down on the bottom, so the radioactivity was coming from the bottom. So this experiment proved that the viruses are sending their genetic material to the bacteria. That is why this genetic material made the new viruses from the bacteria, and that genetic material was DNA. Since the radioactivity, since this pelleted radioactivity was coming from pelleted DNA. So RNA is not considered genetic material. Why? Because there is presence of an additional OH group in the RNA at carbon 2 position, so which makes it very active, reactive and degradable, highly degradable. So it's not considered genetic material. Now later on, in 1953, Watson and Crick proposed the double helical structure of DNA, and based on the X-ray diffraction data from Franklin and Wilkins. These scientists were working in a reputed university and they have collected X-ray diffraction data from the DNA